How's it going, guys? Squishy B here. Before I get into details on what we're working on here, I wanted to draw attention to the music in the background. I know I've spoken a lot about DemeloBeats and the stuff that he's doing over on his channel recently, but this track here, he got in contact with me and agreed to compose a couple of exclusive tracks for me, which is really awesome, and this is one of them, and I absolutely love it, and I love everything he does, and this is no exception to that. So it's going to be used in the new intro, which has come in as well. So I thought I'd just give him a quick shout out here at the beginning and say, yeah, go check out what he's doing. Seriously, it's fantastic stuff. So yeah, what we're working on here is a poster for the game Dishonored. I think it was released late last year sometime, and I'm a little bit late to the party, but with my son being born around the time of its release and second child as well, it didn't leave a lot of time for video games. So although I owned it, I'm only just getting around to playing it now, and I tell you what, I really do like this game. I think for me, with video games, it's all about the art, direction and the setting, and I suppose that's why Bioshock's probably my favourite game of all time. I just loved everything about it, and this game has got that feel to it again as well. I can sort of see the content becoming fairly repetitive after a while, but at the moment I'm still enjoying it, and it's really fun. Yeah, I struggled for a while with the composition for this one, trying to get it right. I wasn't 100% happy with how it worked in the end, but then when I coloured it up, it didn't look too bad, so I thought I'd release it anyway. One of the things that I didn't notice was Corvo's mask. Corvo is the guy in the background. He's the main character that you play. In the game, it looks, well, it appears a lot different to what it does when you look at it in detail. Obviously, it's still got that steampunk vibe, which is awesome, but it looks really sort of pieced together, disjointed. It's got strings that hold it together and stuff like that. You can see it maybe on the right there, and in the game, you don't really get a good glimpse at it, and when you do, it doesn't appear to look like that. So when I saw it, I was like, oh, you know, the idea of what I thought was in my head was a lot better than what it actually was, but still very cool. One of the questions I get almost daily, or even a couple of times on every video, is regarding Wacom tablets. Which one I use and which one, how to choose, how to tell the difference between the different ones, what is the difference between the different ones, and my history with them. So I thought I'd spend a little bit of time now just going over my history with the tablet. Everything I'm about to say is purely my opinion. It's not fact-based. Any facts that I do have are probably incorrect, so just keep that in mind. I mean, what works for me may not necessarily work for you, but I figure I'd share my thoughts on it anyway. So in today's market, it's actually a little bit easier to make a decision on a tablet because there's less models than when I started. When I started with a tablet that was called a Graphire. And basically, where that sat in the range was there was your Bamboos, then you had your Graphires, then you had your Intuos, and then you had your Cintiqs. And I bought the Graphire just to try things out, and I found it okay, but I couldn't really get what I wanted. I couldn't get the results that I wanted with it. The surface of it was really smooth. It had like a plastic covering over the top, and so it didn't really simulate. Like moving from paper to that tablet was kind of difficult because of the surface of it. I think you could actually slide photos underneath it to draw on top of it, but I never actually found a use to that. But anyway, so after that I decided, well, probably the thought process that a lot of people have, and that's the most expensive is the best. So I moved over to a Cintiq, so I actually skipped the Intuos completely. And the Cintiq, and they range from, in Australian dollars, about 1,500 to $3,000, depending on which one you're looking at. I mean, the really big one. I never actually got the really big one. I got the small one just to try it out, and then if I was if I was happy with it, I would probably have to move to the 22-inch one. But I actually found the same thing with that. I had some trouble with the surface of it. Was very smooth, so drawing on it felt a little weird. The response on it was really good, and having the actual Photoshop display on the screen meant you could get a lot of detail. It was fairly accurate. Your hand-eye coordination wasn't as big a deal as it is with the like the bamboo and the Intuos, because you're not looking up at the screen as you draw. However, I still wasn't 100% happy with it, and so before sort of making the decision, I actually picked up the Intuos. And the reason I decided to go with the Intuos, or what its major difference is over the Graphire, obviously the Cintiq is the one with the display on the actual tablet. So the Intuos and the Graphire at the time, which basically is now the bamboo, is if you look at the tech specs, it's a little number called the pressure levels. Now my Graphire had, I think at the time it was about 256 pressure levels, and that basically means how much sensitivity it can have. Obviously you can change the settings and stuff like that, so when you're using your pen, how smooth it is, the brush lines and stuff like that, and also the the variation that you can get with strokes. And I went from 256 with the Graphire, which, as I said, I wasn't really happy with, and then I picked up the Intuos, and it had, I think it was around 2000 or 2500, so it was a huge step up, and instantly it was perfect. I was getting the results I wanted fairly quickly. Obviously, I still had to develop a bit as an artist, but back then that was exactly what I was after, and I felt that what I was doing with my hand, it was actually being displayed on screen, which was great, and exactly what you wanted. Now since then, the Graphire has been phased out completely from what I can see. There's no talk about it on the Wacom site. It looks like there's about 4 different types of bamboos. Now keep in mind that it's been about 3 or 4 years before I've been in the Wacom market. I've had my Intuos for that long, and it still holds up. There is actually a new model out. I use the Intuos 4, there is an Intuos 5, but I've had no real need to upgrade at this point. But looking at the pressure levels on all the bamboos, they're all 1024, so they are actually already a lot higher than what the Graphire is. So that's really good to see. They must have removed that and then pushed up that bamboo tech specs quite a bit, which is fantastic. Now the Intuos itself has 2048, which is the same as what mine has, so the new Intuos has about the same, and you can tell the difference between those 2 pressure levels. So if you do have a chance to try out both, I really recommend having a look at both of them. The thing that I really love about the Intuos is its surface. I spoke earlier about the Graphire and how it was a hard plastic surface. It sort of felt like you were drawing on ice, but the Intuos is a lot different. It's got it's a bit hard to explain, but it's got a funny little texture on it, which feels a lot more like you're drawing on something, maybe not paper, but something of similar style, and it makes a huge difference to me. And probably another thing to look at as well when you are looking at choosing one. The other thing is, for me, size. For me, I use the large version of the Intuos. There is a small, medium, large, and an extra large. And the reason why I don't have the extra large is because it just won't fit on my desk. Because I use the keyboard with it, I don't actually use the hotkey things on the side. I need to have my keyboard in front of me as well, switching between the different tools. So that's the reason why I don't have the extra large. But surface area is really important when you're looking at purchasing a bamboo, or you're looking at purchasing any tablet at all. Do keep in mind the size of the tablet, because you don't want to be drawing on a postage stamp. I know some of those smaller things are really, really tiny. It's same with the small Cintiq. I find, I think it's the 12-inch one, I find it was really, really small. That was one of my other gripes with it. But other than that, that's the major difference. The things to look for again is the surface. So if you get to go into a store and have a look, see what the difference is. I haven't seen the new bamboos personally, but I do recommend doing that. Also have a look at your pressure levels. Also have a look at the size of the tablet, and of course price is an important thing as well. The Intuos is considerably more pricey than the Bamboo, so maybe for getting started, the Bamboo is the way to go. So hopefully that helps out a little, guys. Please feel free to ask me any other questions you may have, or if I didn't cover anything off. Other than that, please follow me on Twitter, that would be totally awesome, and also on Facebook. The links are all in the description below. And other than that, take it easy, guys.